Hey guys, how's it going? Well, I've been kind of working along on my Plymouth out there and my Valiant, and I'm really trying to motivate myself to get all my old cars going this year in time for summer. I've been really guilty of just dragging my feet, dragging along, and not really pushing forward with some of these things that I could be doing. I've kind of always get distracted or distract myself, I think would be the more accurate thing to say on that, with other things. So, that said, if we're going to drive an old car, you need to carry some tools and maybe a few spare parts along with you. It's always a good idea. On those old Mopars, they tend to have ignition failures every once in a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to do just that. We're going to carry some spares. So what I was looking for quite a while now is I wanted an older toolbox, a vintage toolbox as old as the car or even older is fine. Something you would see in the trunk of a car of that age when it was new. All the toolboxes you find now, with maybe one or two exceptions, are all plastic. It's cheaper, and I don't know. Let's say it should hold up better, but I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, I wanted a authentic vintage toolbox for my car out there. So I went looking around, and I always routinely go through these antique stores here in town, and this was coming up dry. I found a couple toolboxes that I really didn't really to me fill the bill, so I just kept looking and just was patient about it. Sure enough, I found this guy a while back. So this is going to be the old time toolbox for the car out there that's going to ride along in the trunk of the Plymouth, and if it decides to stop somewhere on the road, then we'll go into the old time toolbox and try to fix it. So everybody says old cars are so easy to fix, and that's probably true to an extent if they break down. So what we're going to carry in the old time toolbox is just things like a spare ignition box, spare ballast resistor, some bulbs, some wire, and some various hand tools. Should be able to fix pretty much anything. So this is going to be the introduction video to the old time toolbox. We're just going to look at it now, and then I'll make another video after I've got it stocked with my items that I want to put in there. So what is the old time toolbox? Well, this is a Ward's Master Quality, and I've heard that these are slightly collectible. I don't think this one is, but it could be. But anyway, it's just got a nice green, kind of a baked finish, and it's not real heavy duty. It's not, I wouldn't call it the best toolbox you could ever buy back then, but it's definitely authentic. This is probably as old as the car, and I think that the car's a 73, and I think this one's probably older. This is probably mid-60s. The outside of it's got a few little, where it's been just looks like stored. It's got a little dent there and things like that all the way around it, so it's not perfect, but the inside of it's really nice. It looks like it's not even ever been used really. So what I did was I had some of the shelf lining material, kind of rubberized stuff, and I salvaged this out of a grocery store that we were working in, and we were just going to throw it away. So I thought, well, I've got a use for that, I'm sure. So sure enough, I did. And so I've been using on that stuff for a while now. I used it to line my shelves in my toolbox, my main toolbox out there. So that's what I did here. Just kind of wanted to protect this. Of course, it's a toolbox. It's going to be used. So, I'm not going to be too anal about it. But this will kind of keep it from looking really ragged really quick, hopefully. So, and I think you'll be interested to see what I put in this old time toolbox. I've got a lot of tools that are, I guess you could say they're ageless. Crescent wrench. You don't have to have a vintage crescent wrench. You just have to have one that's well used, I guess, to fit the bill. But you don't want to put anything that's Chinese in there, and anything like that, because back then back then, you know, nobody bought Chinese tools. Nobody bought Taiwanese tools. Nobody bought Japanese tools. The only good tools really back in the day that this era came from was if you bought German tools, those were usually good quality tools. And American, of course. Can't forget American. But so this is the introduction to the old time toolbox, and we'll get this thing stocked up here, and we'll take another look at it in a little while and see what we got in there to fix our vintage car in the event that it has a breakdown. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.